If you are new to the channel, each month I do a community submissions video where you guys answer a question I give to you and then I read it out and talk about it on this channel. This month we decided to do Game of the Year 2018 and I thought it was going to be all one game, but I underestimated everyone and I apologize for that because there are so many games here that we're going to have to get through, and I think a lot of them are very interesting. I haven't read them all in total. What I usually do is I let you comment them. I see the games when you comment them, then I give it a little love heart so you know that I've seen it. Then, you know, because there's no point me commenting on it then commenting on this video as well. It just doesn't make much sense. Let's get into the video. So first from Ravon, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, of course. If Smash didn't count, I may have gone with Torna, the Golden Country, even though it is a DLC. God of War is fantastic, fantastic game that I've only played through my friend's PS4, but I fell in love with it. And while I haven't played Spider-Man PS4, I watched the story, and it is a game that got me sentimental and has a great story. It's a very cool thing that you mentioned there, by the way, playing games with your friends like consoles, because I used to do that a lot with my friend and his GameCube. I'd go to his house and he had like a Nintendo GameCube, and being a PlayStation person, I didn't really know what Nintendo was all that much because I didn't have internet, I didn't have money to buy magazines, so I was just literally just left with whatever I bought every year, and that's what I knew about video games. But Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, if that's definitely is your pick. I personally, played that game for 40 hours. I love that game. It was one of my picks for, runner-up for Game of the Year. I really think that it's an amazing game, and it's what a fighting game should be, and it offers all the content in the world to be an amazing fighting game. Although I don't want to play it anymore, and I have no interest in playing it, and doesn't mean it's a bad game. That just means I played it for 40 freaking hours, and to me, I'm okay. I've had my fill of the game. But I think it's honestly a fantastic game. And you talk about Torna the Golden Country. I just finished Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and I was bawling my eyes out. Bought the DLC recently and I really want to get into it as well. So yeah, great picks. Young Thunder, which is a great name. A great name. We all have great names, but this is a really cool name. I feel like I really haven't played any games this year worth calling GOATY for me. 2017 blew me away. It blew me away too, and had some real good games. But for me, 2018 just hasn't done it. Probably the biggest standout for me this year was actually Hollow Knight. I know it actually came out in 2016, but I didn't play it till this year. The game's atmosphere and gameplay loop was really good, and the price tag was the best value I've seen ever in gaming. Note, I didn't play God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2. Those would probably have been good enough to call GOATY for me if I had. I get what you're saying. I feel like this year was a fantastic for ports and re-releases, if you get me. There's a lot of new games that came out that were amazing, but for me personally, if you're looking at the list of games that I really like, Shenmue 1 and 2 Remastered, Yakuza 2, as well as another game. But then, you look at the game like Hollow Knight, that is a lot of people's probably game of the year, even though it got ported this year, I think, to Nintendo Switch, if I'm not wrong. But that game is a cozy Switch game anyway. But yeah, there is no rules against what your game of the year can be. If you pick a game that you played this year for the first time, that's fine. We're not here being rules and regulative on everything. But yeah, I try to think, would my game of the year be different if I played God of War and played Red Dead Redemption 2? I don't think so personally, because they're not really usually my type of games. I think it would still be either, the games I said or Dragon Quest XI. But yeah, I totally get you. I think 2017 was an absolutely astounding year for video games. I think we're still in the golden era of video games, but I just don't think that, we're going to come to the end of a generation, so it's kind of hard to pick out games that are just always amazing, you know what I mean? But yeah, great pick as well. Thackeray Scroggins. So I actually haven't played a lot of games recently that are new. Really the only thing was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and while it was a good game, not nearly good enough to be my GOATY, to be honest. I've been playing things like Fallout 4, again, I love Fallout 4, and COD Modern Warfare 2, and COD World at War Zombies, is that what you say? And just reliving the good old days. That's a mistype or misread. I'm not gonna go back and read it anyway. The good old days of my gaming history. I've been playing a lot of Civ 5 and Hearts of Iron and stuff, and that is by no means new, so it doesn't qualify for my GOATY, sadly though. I love those games very much, however. If I had to choose a game that came out this year that would be GOATY for me, even though I haven't played it, I know that Red Dead Redemption 2 is great, since I have friends who played it, and just looking at it, I can already tell I'm going to be loving that game for a very long time once I get it. I get what you're saying. For me, if I didn't get Persona 5 or Breath of the Wild last year, Jesus Christ, last year was a good year for games. But if I didn't get those games last year, I honestly think that I would still call them my goaties because it's like, man, I know for a fact they're going to be amazing. Red Dead Redemption 2 is just not a game. I played the first one and I really, I enjoyed it. But I just feel like they're not games that I would really get stuck into. I never thought cowboys were cool for me. Like, I know, like, that was the thing. I love Back to the Future 3 is my favorite movie, and it's about cowboys, and you're like, Calvin, you clearly love cowboys. Yeah, I do, but I guess I like Marty McFly as a cowboy. But yeah, great picks as well. Great pick. Great, I guess great pick in terms of, like, you know, what you would have picked is what I would say. Death Gun, Game of the Year. I honestly don't play that many games, but if I had to say a game that has taken me 200 plus hours of my life, it would have to be Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker on the PS4. There's some bias due to being a Naruto and Boruto fanboy, multiplied by 3. Other than that, maybe Soul Calibur 6. So yeah, I know nothing about Naruto. I know a lot of you people have actually been telling me to watch it, and I know that a lot of people I watch and journalists that I follow on Twitter are always talking about how good Naruto is, and I have to get on that at some point. But also, Soul Calibur 6, again, I heard that was amazing. I watch Maximilian play it all the time, and if I was more into fighting games, I think that I would definitely have picked that up straight away. I think the character customizations in that game is fantastic. But yeah, another great pick. Really fantastic pick. Jimmy T. Katamari Damacy Reroll. I have loved the Katamari series forever, and yes, Smash is great and all, but I love Katamari more. Probably just nostalgia. No, it's not nostalgia talking, Jimmy T. You like what you want to like. If people say, hey, if that's nostalgia, maybe they're nostalgia for their own ass. I don't know. You like what you want to like. If you think Katamari is better than Smash Brothers, then it is better than Smash Brothers. It's not definitive. No one can choose what game is better. That just doesn't work like that. Katamari is your game of the year. Freaking awesome. World of Final Fantasy Maxima is up to 2. Great game as well. The Pokemon-esque gameplay with chibi Final Fantasy characters is just great. I played World of Final Fantasy on the Vita. Very poor decision because I had a very small memory card, so I couldn't download the patch, which means I was playing with like 22 frames per second, but I still enjoyed it. Believe it or not, I chose this is so embarrassing, but I chose like English voice actors over the patch because I could only download one of them. I was like, okay, what do I pick? English voice acting or the patch? And I was like, okay, Calvin, just download the English voice acting. Yeah, you half weeaboo. Go do it, man. Yeah, great picks. And what I mean by like that, guys, by the way, is if you think a game is better than another game, then that game to you is better than the other game. Me personally, I picked Dragon Quest XI this year. No one can come to me and say, you like Dragon Quest XI, but this game is better. It doesn't work like that. Dragon Quest XI is the best game that came out this year, in my eyes. And that's how video games work in terms of like the quality of game that you played and how it resonates with you, I think. I know people will disagree, but I'm not here to get into that discussion, so let's move on very, very quickly. Legend of, I want to say Sage? I want to say Sage, Legend of Sage. They originally chose Breath of the Wild, which I had no problem with, saying it was an amazing with a world to explore, beautiful art style, and so many possibilities. They said, I just realized it was released last year, and though it was this year, I thought it was this year because I played it this year for the first time. Whoops. 100% fine. I think a lot of people have done that. Like, and this again, we're not regulating people. Like, this is just for fun, you know. 110%. Like a fantastic game, and I talk about Breath of the Wild so freaking much. I know a lot of people are like now on the train of like we have to change it for the next game. If you just give me Breath of the Wild in the same world, but give me like just another 30-hour story, I'm there for it, man. I'm there for it 100%. Carl Smith, there's too many great games from this year I haven't gotten to yet. Red Dead, God of War, yeah man, I haven't gotten to them either. But of the games I have played, I have to say it's between Subnautica and Destiny 2 Forsaken. Maybe Forsaken doesn't count since it's actually DLC. It does count, it does 100%, we're not regulating. I keep saying this, but people know by now. But Subnautica is a fantastic game that I played and loved through most of the time it was in early access. I played Destiny 1 like mad. I have it right here on the shelf. I bought it, I remember I got it free with my PS4 and I thought, I'm just gonna play the main story, but I then played with my friends and loved it. I think Destiny is fantastic. I think especially if you play with friends. I think the complaint that people had was that it's on your own, it's not always the best experience, but for me the main story was always fun to play because I think the shooting mechanics are amazing. So I can't imagine they'd fuck up the shooting mechanics too much. And Subnautica looks terrifying because I'm afraid of the underwater world. I really am. 13 Carry On Productions, Bloodborne and Neo. I chose them because both are great and the best, which I finished this year. I really love them. there we go. Bloodborne, as you guys know, I finished that game about 23 or 24 times now. It's a fantastic game. Neo, personally, lacks for me. Just being honest, it's just not my type of game. I thought I would love it. I bought it just recently, but I just can't. Just stuff about it that I just can't deal. I'm not going to get into it here too much, but it's just not my type of game. But Bloodborne is a masterpiece, and if there ever was a place for a 10 in my life, that game is certainly a freaking 10. June, with the great freaking Avatar. Octopath Traveler has to be my favorite game of the year, although I can't really say much because I haven't played much games that came out this year. Octopath Traveler, yeah, another game which I'm getting a loan of off my friend because like I was gonna buy it, but then it's like €60, so my friend was just like, hey, I have it, I've finished it, you can have it. That very generous, beautiful friend. I don't want to say his name here because that's not very fair to like name out someone on something that they're not really privy to beforehand. But yeah, he's a fantastic person. Thank you very much for that. I want to play Octopath Traveler really bad. And people said, like, for months I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to play. But then people were like, Calvin, they made an RPG for the Switch. This is made for you. You're going to love it. I really want to play it, and I can't actually wait to play it. I'm going to play it sometime next year because my backlog just became massive. And I'm actually going to do a video on my backlog very soon. I think that's going to be next month's video. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is my game of the year, and that's from LinkLad26. Yeah. A great game. I think exactly as I said, it's what a fighting game should be in 2018. I know it's like kind of jargon, but like it's exactly what I think, and it's exactly what I mean. I think that they've completely restored the love for Smash Brothers that was already there, but they made the love for Smash Brothers. They had all the hardcore Smash fans, and like Smash was like, yeah, Smash Brothers. And then the casual people are like, yeah, I like Smash Bros. And then Smash Bros. Ultimate gets announced, and all of a sudden they're like, no. I fucking love Smash Brothers, you know, which is great. It's great for them. Zaffron Orion, I think it's in German. But I think I can read it. I think it says, so far it's Torna, the Golden Country. I think that's what it says. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't read German that well, so I'm sorry. I think I don't read any language really that well. But so far it's Torna, the Golden Country. Again, I can't wait to play that game. I just want to find out what was happening with Torna. I really do. And towards the end of that game, I kept understanding more and more why people were doing things, and I just want to understand completely why things were the way they were. Caden21. Okay, if we are going off just what year it came out, then Smash Ultimate 100%. It's such an amazing game that I'm going to be playing for years. If we were to go off Game Awards rules, then Smash can't count. So I would go with Xenoblade 2, because I'm pretty sure that counts as for Game Awards 2018. Xenoblade 2 has one of the best stories in gaming, and gameplay 2 is just so addictive. I 110% agree, and I think that the fact that it was snubbed from the Game Awards was honestly one of the most baffling things I've ever seen, especially for music at least. Like it's like okay, if you don't like the game, that's fine, but the music is fantastic, and you just have to freaking admit that. Like the bullshit of I never get that bullshit of like it's just, you know, and I feel like it is a thing of JRPGs get snubbed every year for a reason. Like you could tell last year when they put Persona 5 up for Game of the Year nominations, they had to do it because it got, first of all, it got such a high review rating. It was the highest selling Atlas game in Japan's history, and Atlas is a big company. And then all of a sudden, like they were like, okay, I guess we have to put Persona 5 in here. But it's like, you understand that game is much more than what they say. Mohan. The best game I played this year is Persona 5, but for games released in 2018, I would say Celeste or God of War was my goatee. Persona 5 is an absolutely fantastic game. I talk about this all the time. Just superb. It's just, it's honestly like, when you look up 10 in the dictionary, or perfect in the dictionary, you'll find Persona. I know a lot of people disagree, but you'll find Persona 5 there, and I think that game is just, every bit of it is just fucking perfect. I can't wait for it to come to the Switch so more people can play it. And Boastful Toast said, it may not have been released this year, but this classic still holds up today. Putt Putt Goes to the Zoo is possibly the greatest game of all time, and I sincerely recommend it. Well, Boastful Toast, it's been recommended. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.